Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. We're not being joined by Queen Mosef, who is a basketball writer. Of course, that means we're going to be talking a lot about Nigeria's D Tigers and the exploits, in quotes, at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in China. Queen, it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Last time we had you was on a celebratory mood, right? Yeah, did digress, conquering Africa yet again. But unfortunately, this time we're not talking about wins. We're going to be talking about a few losses and stuff. But let's just get confirmation, Sile, of that match. You followed it right from the studio until we went out, and eventually,
got my heart broken.
Eventually, Nigeria, you know, the matchup against Nigeria and Argentina ended 94-81 in favor of the Argentines, and 13-point loss. Not good at all for Nigeria's, you know, chances. Of course, those chances are now extinguished totally. They can't make it to the next round. So, Queen, let's talk about this game. I know you watched this game, and for me, I thought Nigeria, they were careless. I thought they were wasteful, and you know, I know everyone is blamed lack of experience for the loss. So, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I'll also blame lack of experience because coming to the World Cup, this is like the first time this set of players are getting to the World Cup, even the most experienced, talking about the 36-year-old Ike Diogo. So experience also played a toll on them. But apart from that, I wasn't really expecting a win against Argentina. Even some would have thought, that, okay, we should bounce back against Russia. But I wasn't expecting so much of a win. But I think they gave a good fight against Argentina to lose by 13 points, because I was thinking it was going to be a blowout. Argentines had the 5th ranked team in the world, a team to reckon with. But I think we had a lot of errors in that game, like you mentioned, allowing Luis Scola a lot of space in the paint, because we're supposed to get away with him, do away with him in the paint, because as old as Luis Scola, 39 years of age, and he has a lot in his legs, he was still able to get a double on us. So I think
3 points and 10 rebounds.
We couldn't answer a lot of questions from Luis Scola in that particular game, and also from 3-pointers, we couldn't also answer questions in that particular regard, because our perimeter shots defensively was very poor. Even against Russia, we saw that happen. And the last 2 3-pointers in that game against Argentina, which we should have even lost maybe by 9 points. But because of that last 2 3-pointers, that also increased the number of points we lost to Argentina. So I think the errors in that part, also our turnovers too, didn't also help us as well. Then also the fact that our free throws, they're also losing out our free throws, and also forcing the Argentines to make those free throws, force them to make fouls, go to the foul line, and they converted their free throws. So we had those issues and I think the experienced players didn't really come to the party like I should have expected them to.
Like who?
Like Ike
I think Ike Diogo was kind of slow in this tournament. He's kind of slow in this tournament. I expected a lot from him. I don't know if he's having injury or so, or maybe he's battling some issues.
But he's new. I mean, the guy has been around for a long time.
He has been around.
He's carrying the responsibility of the whole team. Every time you have new players coming in, he's the only person that is consistent. You have practically almost all. How many players have been at the last AfroBasket do we have here? Just 3. So the others are all new faces and all that. And you have some of them from NCAA, college basketball and everything.
Well, that's not a reason why he should is underwhelmed so far in this competition. That shouldn't be a reason. The fact is, as an experienced player, a lot was expected coming to this tournament.
As a leader, off and off the court.
Exactly. He hasn't lived up. That's the bottom line.
So I think the young players were the ones that did the business. Joshua Okoje, he has been the star, he has been the engine room and star player of the team. So, but I think the experienced guys didn't come to the party. But I think I was expecting more from Stan and Koye, those players who play in the Euro League, because this is more of like the Euro basketball coming to play when you face the European teams, and then we don't have to see a Stan and Koye play so many minutes. Like in Russia, I expected him to play more than 3 minutes, but he played just 3 minutes. I was like, this is the MVP in Spain. So I expected maybe the coach has his reasons, should have brought in Stan Okoye and maybe some other players to see what they'll be able to deliver, but we didn't see much of that. But against Argentina, I wasn't expecting a win, but kudos to the guys. they gave a very good fight against Argentines, but I expected them to have won Russia. That game was a win game. Yes, okay. That was a missed opportunity, and I think we'll rule our chances.
Okay. All right. Today, Onambolo is actually standing by. He'll be joining us this morning to talk about this game also. For Nigerian team, converted just 9 of the 28 attempts behind the arc. That's something we didn't expect at all, knowing that we have some good shooter in the team. Good morning, and it's good to have you here.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me. Hi, Queen.
Hi. Hi, are you good to see you?
Hi, Anthony. It's good to have you. And
Thank you so much.
You smiling as well.
So what's the feeling like, right? You're smiling, I get that, but then...
I want to just quickly take him up on this one, Cecilia, because you mentioned it already. 9 of 28 from the field, right? And going into this World Cup, I was in the U.S., very adamant. You're convinced that it's a small ball world now. We've got great shooters and really don't need to do much damage in the paint. And it looks like your guys have let you down in terms of their shooting.
I mean, where they let me down was in the game against Russia, because when you go into a tournament like this, you want to figure out these are the teams I am sure I will beat, right? And these are the teams I'm going to have to work hard against to beat. Well, I already knew the Russians were going to the World Cup not with their strongest team. They had a lot of injuries, and these were a lot of guys playing in the second division in the Russian league and what have you. So surrendering that 8-point margin they had in the fourth quarter of the first game, to me, was what ultimately ended Nigeria's chances. Because against Argentina, like Quinn said, it was always going to be a serious battle and a very uphill responsibility to take down a very experienced Argentine side with a lot of pedigree and history in the competition. So once we lost to Russia, hey, come on, man. The only thing left was, let's just have faith, you know. Let's see if we can rally these guys. Unfortunately, they are in China. We are here in Nigeria, the United States. The rallying calls perhaps did not get to them strong enough, you know. But, hey, we have to take out a lot of positives from the team. I thought their biggest challenge on offense was the fact that their offense was very static throughout. But the guys were relying a lot on ISO ball, one-on-one basketball. You look at the Argentines, these guys were moving the ball. I mean, Lapra, Vitola, and Campazzo were guys who were running the offense for them. The ball did not stick. Guys were running all over the place. The ball was moving all over the place. And I keep saying intelligent basketball is when you allow the ball do the running, right? And you just have to position yourself so well, set screens, you know, get guys coming off the screens and all of that. We saw flashes of it in the second quarter especially, but after that, I mean, guys just went back to trying to play hero ball. And against a team like Argentina, there was no way that was going to work.
Oh, well,
all right.
I mean, we had it all, but then at the end of the day, I mean, Coach Alex Wanra has been talking. Maybe we can take a quote from him, what he needs to do in the next game, because he said a whole lot of things concerning how the fought hard, how he's really proud of the team and all that, you know, couples of plays that they just didn't, you know, get to have and everything. But for him, what will he do next? Because he mentioned the fact that Argentines, the experience, this is their 60th win at FIBA World Basketball. Just the USA and some other teams, there are just 5 teams have been able to have more wins than they are. For Nigeria, all the players making their debut. The coach also has never been to the World Cup. Was it inexperience that actually cost Nigerians these 2 games?
I mean, yeah, inexperience definitely played a part of it. But come on, when you see other sports, you know, football, tennis, and all of that, you talk. I mean, you guys rightly analyzed the U.S. Open. You saw the upsets going on. So it means inexperience, yeah, could be a problem, but it doesn't always have to count against you. Once you play the game very well, you follow the fundamentals very well. You must have done scouting on the opponents you're going to face in the tournament very well, and you execute the plan to near perfection. You should have some joy. I mean, at this stage, I feel like when we lose games, we should feel very bad because the team put in their best but only lost to, you know, an experienced side. We didn't even put in that. That was far from the best of any basketball team trying to make, you know, a shout at a global competition like the World Cup. I didn't think the guys put in the best. There was a lot more in the tank. But somehow, I mean, they either did not play to the coach's instruction, which I felt that was more of the case because, I mean, towards the end, coach clearly, if you saw the game, coach clearly gave them the thumbs down sign, meaning get the ball to Chimezie Metu in the post and the rest of you flare to the arc so that when he's doubled in the paint, he kicks out and you shoot. That happened only once in the final 3 minutes of regulation. So there's a lot to learn from all of that. Yeah, experience, but come on. when you play according to instruction and you play the right way, you definitely get results. But that did not happen.
Unfortunately, it didn't happen for Nigeria against Argentina, as it didn't happen against Russia as well. Ayrton, before we let you go, quickly just touch on Luis Scola. 23 points and 10 rebounds. Is now the second all-time scorer when it comes to the Basketball World Cup. This guy is no longer a spring chicken. I remember when he used to play for the Houston Rockets, and I mean, he's 39 now. He's going to be 40 really soon. And was able to still dominate, you know, D-Tigers, the young, you know, energetic D-Tigers, on his way to a triple-double.
I mean, we must give Luis Scola a lot of credit. One of the greatest of all time when it comes to international basketball, representing Argentina. But I felt that we may have given him a leeway. We may have given him a lot of help with the production he had. I'm not taking anything away from him, but putting Al-Farouq Aminu on Luis Scola perhaps may have been the wrong move. There were bigger guys we had. I mean, I felt like Chimeze Metu should have been the guy having the responsibility to slow Luis Scola down in terms of, you know, size, in terms of quickness on the court, and in terms of length and elevation on defense. We didn't quite have that. And Aminu was overworked. It was overmatched on defense, and it really showed on the day.
All right.
Yeah.
Cecilia.
Okay, I mean, we need to let you go now, so you go catch some sleep and all that. But before we let you go, South Korea is going to be our last game, and that's on Wednesday. What should we do differently, at least get a win, you know, before we enter the classification games?
Thankfully, we're playing against the smallest side in terms of size in the group. This is where we now have to, like, probably not rely too much on perimeter shooting, get the ball inside and bully these guys to submission, because there is still something to play for, guys. I know we're not going to advance to the next round, but the highest ranked African team in the World Cup will automatically make it to the Olympic Games. And so that would save us the rigors of having to play qualifying games all over the place just to make it to the Olympic Games in Tokyo in 2020. That is one prize left. So I know that the Tunisians already beat Iran in their second game. They face Puerto Rico, which will be an uphill task. And so if they lose and Nigeria can record some incredible, you know, victory against the Koreans and, you know, play classification and finish strongly, I mean, that's like an easy ticket all the way to Tokyo. So that is something to play for. Get the ball inside and let our big men go to work. I expect Ike Diogu to actually have his best game against the Koreans. Bully these guys in the middle. Come on, man. I'm not taking anything away from the Koreans, but it's the Koreans. Bully them in the middle and get the job done.
Impose yourselves. And then,
I love that.
Ayrton, thank you very much for once again joining us on the program. You can go catch a bit of sleep now. Thank you.
I'll be watching the World Cup. No sleep, man.
Well done, guy. Well done. Well done. All right, so that's Ayrton Onobolu, basketball writer for B-Ball Nigeria, based in Texas. These days, we're still on the Tigers matters. Everyone is talking about the experience and how Argentina, 60 wins, you know, they have the tradition, basketball culture internationally. But we're going to look at some stats now and see that it's really not, there wasn't really much difference, you know, in this game. They didn't really, like, just, you know, just totally dominated Nigeria. Seeing those stats now, 2 pointers. You can see 41-47 in favor of Argentina there. For the 3 pointers, 35-32 in favor of Argentina. Free throw, I think this was very decisive. 69-82. The fact that Argentina went to the line 27 times, that's
got 22.
So that must have really contributed.
Yeah,
right. So assists, 22-20 in favor of Nigeria. 44-45 rebounds. Not a lot in that as well too. What else again? Turnovers, 16 and 15. The teams were careless on the day. Blocks, 10-6 in favor of Nigeria. Steals, 13-9 in favor of Nigeria. And somehow Nigeria still lost the game.
Yeah, somehow.
You need to put the ball in the hole, right? That's what matters.
Turnovers, I think that worked against us. That turnovers worked against us. And as well, fouling them, making sure they get to the free throw line.
Wow.
And they just lost 5 out of 27. It speaks a whole lot. And I think where we also got it wrong is after bringing that game to a tie.
Yeah.
The third quarter was where it all went bad for us. We collapsed in the third quarter. And I heard Luis Cola saying after the game that they lost control in the second quarter. But when they went back and got back in the third quarter, they had to take control. And they did take control. Yeah. And fourth quarter was a close shot for them. So I think they just rounded off the whole thing in the second half. And what really matters is what you do in the second half. Because first half really doesn't matter. It matters little because you have to win your game and see it off in the second half, which we didn't.
We didn't do that.
Quinn, quickly, you mentioned Josh Okogie at the start of the show. This guy has been fantastic. Let me just put it that way. On the day, did his best as well too. Look at his numbers. He's developed, after just 1 year in the NBA, he's developed into a very solid two-way player. And of course, going forward, we'll be looking, at the likes of Josh Okogie, building a team around him. It's just unfortunate that, this particular World Cup, teammates haven't really stepped up.
True. Yeah, we have to continue and as well keep this bulk of team together. Because you look at Ike Diogo, might not be at the World Cup in 2023.
No
might not, he'll be like 40 or thereabout, even though we have Luis Cola 39 here.
Yeah, 39, he'll be 40 next April, right?
So we still have some major players between 20, 21, because Jordan will be 21 in a few days' time.
Players.
So we still have a lot of young players. Yeah. Chimeze Metu also is still young. Yeah. So I think we'll have to build the team around this, especially for Josh Okogie, and also keep him happy because these foreign players, we have to keep them happy. So that they can come back again.
Because what happened before they went to China, I mean,
we have to keep them happy because I know that a lot of people have criticized the fact that our league is not effective, is not on, and then you have to focus on Nigeria basketball and grassroots basketball. But I think the best should go to the World Cup. If we have the best of players here, they should go. But when you don't have a league running for the last 2 years or 1 year plus, where are the best players going to come from? So I think we have to get that right first and then take care of a league. Then we start having those players there. So, but when we have the best across the world, we have to keep them happy so they can come again and again. So, but if we have the Olympic ticket, we have to make them come. And if we don't have it and have to go through the qualifiers, remember when the qualifiers, the Olympic is on, we'll have to sort for these players. And some of the players in the NBA won't be able to make it and come down. So for Josh Okogie, very fantastic player, and he did well at the World Cup, carrying the team. As young as he is, NBA experience just 1 year, and he has blown out in this at this World Cup. So I think he's going to get better, and let's just build it around him, as well as Jordan. Jordan also needs the experience as well. He's still in the university, but let's just build around this set of players, and I think 2023 will be better for us.
Right, so we can look ahead to 2023, better times for Nigeria. Let's take some quotes from the players now. Cecilia, a couple of them have been talking. First up is Ben Uzo. You're going to tell us what you think of his performances so far, Ben Uzo. But Cecilia, let's go.
Well, he said we really wanted to win this game, but unfortunately, we fell short. We had moments where, when we got down, fought back, but Argentina came back and won. They play as a team.
Right.
Yeah, that's the key word there. As a country, we would like to continue to immerse ourselves and to win games. That's what they want to do.
Yep, okay. We still have another game.
Yeah,
we will make adjustments.
Yeah, that's not what they need to do. And
Alex
for the coach, he says, I'm proud of my team. We fought hard. There's a couple of plays that were crucial but could have gone our way, but they did not.
Right.
This is a very young team and does not have experience. But if they stay together, we can do a lot more. That's what he's saying this morning. A lot more, I mean.
And he continues by saying, yeah, we're still one of the best teams in Africa, in my opinion. And but we have not shown it just yet. We've played very good teams that have a good culture of basketball. Basically summing up everything you said.
We're the best team in Africa, even though we didn't win the last 2017 Afro basketball. Judging by the qualifiers, we are the best team. But if we had won against Russia, we'll be saying all this. We'll be getting to the next round. So but I think making those crucial decisions at crucial moments is what failed us. So I think we need to work on that against South Korea, like Ayotunde mentioned. Just one team from Africa will get automatic spot because 7 teams will get automatic spot, as well as the host nation, that's Japan.
So we have to finish ahead.
So we have to finish ahead of Tunisia, which means
Tunisia
we have
won
to
a game already.
So we have to win and hope that Puerto Rico defeats Tunisia, because Tunisia lost to Spain by 39 points. So looking at the margin, we lost our 2 games. It was just 5, respectable. So that should do it for us. So, but we need to beat Korea. And there is one player I'm really concerned about in the South Korean team. His name is Raga.
Okay.
An American Korean. he naturalized to a Korean. He's an American, and he scored like 39 points against Argentina. And also Russia, I think he scored 17 or 19 points. He's a center player, and he has carried the team so well. We need to keep him off, really.
Just keep him off, right? Right, we need to go to the break now. We'll be looking at the transfer deadline day. Across Europe, what happened for Kao and so many moves. But one person had to stay in his club. I'm talking about Neymar. He's not going anywhere for now.